Hello everyone, and welcome back to Motor Nation. The Ford Motor Company is one of the biggest players in the automotive space. The company has been looking to bounce back after suffering some considerable setbacks in 2023, and with the year now in full swing, it appears to have found the perfect piece. Now, if you've been paying attention to the dynamics of the EV space, you'd know that it isn't necessarily doing so hot. EVs have been criticized significantly over the years for several of their flaws, and it kind of seems like investors are starting to get a bit frustrated. But Ford is looking to capitalize on the market nonetheless, with a new product that will offer some of the biggest high-end EV features while also being incredibly affordable. Will this be able to save Ford while also reigniting the EV space? With the year now firmly in place, automotive industry participants have been looking to release products that can basically differentiate them and give their customers another reason to fork out 5 figures at the dealership. And Ford is definitely no different. But the company appears to be taking a much different approach, with its view to undercut the rest of the market when it comes to pricing. A little over a month ago, reports confirmed that Ford is gearing up to switch its attention to a new platform of affordable, compact electrical vehicles. The reports claimed that Ford's platform will essentially underpin a compact crossover, and the company will be looking to release it in 2026. Ford's new vehicle is expected to cost an interesting $25,000, offering an interesting mix of relatively high-end EV features while also coming at a considerably cheaper price than most of the products on the market today. And in a market where consumers already feel like many of the EVs they have might be a bit overpriced, it appears that the company will now be looking to significantly undercut its competitors across the board. If the reports are to be believed, then it appears that Ford will be shifting its priorities significantly. And it's not so difficult to see why. In the past few years, the electric vehicle market has been hit with a massive wave of low-priced electric vehicles, many of which have mostly originated from China. Companies like BYD, NIO, and more have been flush with investments from Chinese investors and even the Chinese Communist Party. And after successfully beating out American EV manufacturers from their country, these companies are now setting their sights towards international expansion. First, it was Europe. Now, it's the United States. And interestingly, this strategy appears to be working. The US, as we know, has been facing a bit of an economic burn. And as customers begin to feel the crunch, many have been looking to save costs as much as possible. This means that for makers of EVs, it hasn't been the easiest time. Look at a company like Tesla. The undisputed leader in America's EV market, Tesla has had to endure significant losses on its balance sheets. The company has missed delivery estimates for several quarters, and much of its profits have also eroded as sales have dropped. Customers appear to be less enamored with the concept of EVs and more focused on getting the proper value for their money. In fact, Tesla appears to be the poster child for the current woes of the EV market. The company has so far had to cut down the prices of most of its vehicles in different states. But even that hasn't been enough to drum up the type of demand that it would probably have liked for its products. And even Ford has suffered this same trend as well. The automaker confirmed last year that it would be halting the shipping of its F-150 Lightning EV, citing a very slow level of demand. The company was reported to be losing about $36,000 per vehicle delivered, and as you can imagine, this isn't the type of hit that any company would want to take. To mitigate this, Ford is now shifting priorities entirely. The company will be delaying its larger EVs, choosing instead to focus on a series of small, affordable electric models. Like we said, the first will be a compact SUV that is scheduled to be released to the market in the latter part of 2026. The starting price for this unnamed vehicle is expected to be roughly $25,000, meaning that Ford most likely has plans to target the upcoming entry-level Tesla as well. As reports explained, the crossover is expected to ride on a completely new electric platform. Ford has reportedly built a team of fewer than 100 people at its plant located in Irvine, California, and the company now has them working round the clock on the development of the car. Besides the SUV, Ford's new electric platform is also expected to power a small pickup truck, which most experts believe will be the electric counterpart to the company's notable Maverick. And early iterations of the vehicle's architecture have hinted that it could be a dedicated ride-hailing vehicle, something similar to the Cruise division that General Motors had. The push to ride-hailing is one that several automakers have been hyping up for a while now. GM had its Cruise division, which suffered significant setbacks after a string of failures and accidents at the test phase, and recently. Tesla also hinted that it would be looking to launch a dedicated ride-hailing service in a bid to compete directly against giants like Uber and Lyft. We still aren't sure if Ford will be looking to make a similar move, but considering where the market is at, this shouldn't be too much of a leap. Anyways, back to Ford's designs. According to reports, the upcoming compact EV is expected to use a lithium iron phosphate battery to power itself. The batteries aren't quite as powerful as the standard lithium-ion batteries, but considering the fact that they are about 30% cheaper than the standard options, you can kind of see why Ford will be looking to use them instead. The entire point of this car will be to offer a more affordable EV option to enthusiasts, and as long as it's able to get the job done, that shouldn't be an issue. Reports have confirmed that Ford could even be looking at other, more affordable battery technologies to keep costs down as much as possible. But we'll just have to wait and see what the results are at the end of the day. As for additional details, Ford has been rumored to be working on a 3-row electric SUV, a possible electric counterpart to the Explorer, which is one of Ford's most iconic vehicles. But we're not sure if that will be part of the company's plans going forward, or if it'll take a concept out of that book with these affordable EVs. The company is also expected to release a small electric crossover in Europe this year that will wear the Explorer name and ride on the same Volkswagen MEB platform that powered the VW ID.4 and the Audi Q4 e-tron. So there's also that for customers to look forward to. The entry of Ford into the electric truck market is definitely going to ruffle a lot of feathers. Industry giants like Nissan, Toyota, and General Motors have long dominated the mid-size truck segment, but it's hard to think of an automaker that has built a reputation for quality and durable vehicles quite like Ford. And as the company will once again be looking to mount a heavy entrance into the sub-industry, it'll be interesting to see how it performs across the board. Nevertheless, automotive enthusiasts and industry analysts remain highly excited about this prospect. For one, many EV users have complained for years about the fact that these cars didn't necessarily provide optimal functionality. Charging stations aren't so abundant, and the vehicles themselves appear to be dealing with minimal range. Throw in the cost of maintenance and upgrades, and then consider that many of these EVs actually cost something in the top 5 figures. With something in the range of $25,000, EV customers will finally find a product that's decently priced while also offering relatively impressive utility across the board. Of course, there are still a lot of details that we don't have or know. So, it'll be interesting to see what these trucks actually come with. But if there's one company that has a pedigree of delivering reliable and durable vehicles, it's Ford. Interestingly, this launch is also coming at a time when the demand for mid-sized trucks is starting to rise. Customers are gravitating towards smaller, more durable vehicles that are properly suited to urban environments. So, by offering the triple threat of affordability, strength, and a modern design, Ford is set to capitalize on the market. Still, this isn't to say that the company will simply enter the market and dominate. For one, a lot of Ford's competitors are already beefing up their offerings in the mid-sized truck market. General Motors, Toyota, and several other names are currently hyping up their vehicles, and there's a considerable amount of hype that they will be more inclined to slash prices as well in a bid to protect their share of the market. At the end of the day, whoever succeeds here will be the company that can deliver vehicles that meet the demands of the customers while also being priced competitively. Consumers already know what they want, and with the market expected to be flooded with new products, it'll definitely be interesting to see who wins out in this game. We should also point out the fact that the introduction of a more affordable EV variant will do a lot to help improve Ford's status as an environmentally conscious car manufacturer. The company has so far been one of the biggest recipients of criticism for its continuous pushing of gas-powered vehicles, and as the world continues to shift toward SUVs and more sustainable transportation options, Ford will have to focus more on the sustainability of the products coming out of its line. With a new line of affordable EVs, Ford could accelerate the shift towards more sustainable cars by providing something that a lot of customers would love. And it could help to refurbish its image across the board.